a platform. All right. Can't forget to start the marker. Rubber dragon. Oh, you have 2 rubber ducks on your desk. Yeah, like they're so they can be pretty fun too. Like the ones that have a little dress, like, you know, clothes on. Let's see. If you lose one, you still have another. Yep. Triceraduck. That's a good one too. Okay, so when we click, we want to add in something to the screen. So there's we're gonna want to handle mouse down events now. So this is gonna be the input handler. Let's go mod, go to our input handler. Specifically, we're going to want to handle mouse down events. So pub function handle mouse down. And then I don't know what else I need from this. Maybe before I actually write this code, let's head into the library and see what we got here. So function. Okay, here we go. Mouse button down event. So I can figure out what the button is. Oh, the X and Y. What are you? Let's debug. Let's debug this X and Y. You look up RuneFest 2019 duck. The cyan duck is the one. It's so dumb, it's great. Is RS RuneFest? Is that a game or is it RuneScape? Is that from RuneScape? Uh-oh. RuneScape. Oh man, I remember that game from back in the day. Oh, you don't. Fine, I'll import you. Oh, you tried to link a tweet. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Let me, I don't have Twitter as a safety one. Like there's too many bad tweets out there. But what I can do is take a look at what you tried to tweet. Or what there. Oh, it's from Jagex. That's what it is. So that in here. Here it is. So sorry about the Nightbot getting a little bit stronger, but that's an awesome duck. I love that. That is amazing. That is a really cool duck. You got the mouse pad. Oh, that's like, I have to use a mouse pad often because like the tables that I'm working on usually have glossy tops and just don't work that well. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see if we can get their XY. So, okay, so 851. If I come down here to the bottom, okay, that's nice. Now, if I click somewhere else, okay, so it's not capturing outside the window. It's just capturing in here. Nice. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is good. So I think this is gonna work. So, oh, it's like the super wide mouse pads that you put your keyboard on as well. I've never had one of those before. Like I know they make all sorts of cool ones that like also like light up and do everything else. I've never really like gotten, I guess like I don't have enough room for them usually. Also, I have a split keyboard, which means that I would need a really wide one of those. Okay, so I can get the X and Y out of here. Now button, what are you? Button left, button right, button middle. So scrolling doesn't do it. Oh, cool. I have like these other buttons too. Those are the, so left, right, middle, other 1, 2. Okay. So I don't really have any other buttons I need to use. Left button is, I think, fine for what we're going to do. In fact, do I care about this? I might. So back into here. We want to handle mouse input. And following the examples of everything else, let's also just go into edit. So edit level input handler. In here, we're going to have hub function handle mouse input. Itself. Okay, so what are we going to care about? We're going to care about the mouse button. The mouse button is going to be a mouse button. We're also going to care about the X, 32, and the Y. Snap 32. We're going to return a result because we're going to have to send an event out that we clicked somewhere. So first of all, let's create a point where this is going to. So let our location equals point new, and we'll throw in X and Y. And we probably only want to run this on left mouse button click. Yes. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Rust, all of these bottom like lines that do not have semicolons are auto returns. So this is the equivalent of me saying return with a semicolon. If I do this, you notice that that it yells at me with this yellow squiggly here. I have Rust has a linter called Clippy, and Clippy is I guess like it can be just as annoying as Clippy from like Microsoft the old days, but it's unlike that actually super helpful. So it's telling me, hey, in Rust, unneeded return statement. Let me just use it to fix it. If you don't have a semicolon, the last thing is an auto return. It just cleans things up a little bit. I can totally see it pissing off people if they want that return. You can totally have it. Rust will compile just fine. Clippy will be upset, but you don't have to run Clippy. That's optional. I have that option turned on, and I have Clippy turned to the max. Yeah, that's the big thing. So notice that it's the no semicolons at the very end, but you can also see like, okay, it's returning this result. So results are interesting because Rust doesn't have the ability to throw an error like most languages do. So I have to return errors. So I have to return this result. It's either going to be an okay, like things are okay, or return an error, which this macro here is returning the error for me behind the scenes. Kind of like Go. I have not programmed in Go, so I will take your word for it. It's just like sugar, but it makes a big difference in some more complicated contexts. Sometimes it can, yes. Oftentimes, if things are getting hard to read, that's a good indication to rewrite it. Like just make lots of small functions. Okay, so if I have this mouse button here, we have this location. Now the big thing also is I only want to do this if this mouse button is the left. So if mouse button here, if we go over and look at how it's built in the library, so in GGEZ, which is what I'm doing, I should try Go. I like Rust though, and I just don't have that much time to try other languages right now, but maybe someday, Or if I like find something that I want to do in Rust, oh, sorry, in Go. Okay, so it's an mouse button is an enum, left, right, and middle. So I want to, it can be one of these things. So I want to say if this has partial equal here. So it implements partial equal. So I don't have to do like an iflet. I can just say if mouse button is equal to mouse button left, then we're gonna create our location like this. And now we need to create an event. So I'm creating my own event. We're gonna have mouse clicked event, and we're gonna put a point inside of it. So now I can do let our event. It's gonna be a event mouse clicked and give it this location. And then we're going to send this off. So self dot event sender dot send the event. This question mark here is so send returns a result. So the result, I wish I, oh, there it is. The result is like nothing if it's successful, and it gives me this send error enum or object or whatever it is. We don't know, it doesn't really matter if it's an error. So question mark is saying, you know what? If it's an error, bubble that up out of this result. So just like send it on up to like main, essentially, when it gets handled and printed out to the screen. Yeah, I can. I think like a lot of languages now have that ability to just import a Git repo and it's in a project. I have used that in the past. It helps out. Okay, so this sends that event now. Now we can have anything listen to that, but we have an error now. We have an error because this event, we're matching on event for audio manager. So audio manager, do we care about if we have a mouse clicked on something? Like, no, I'm gonna say no right now. And I'm gonna do this as just a no op. But this is like, I'm using this event system so to decouple all of my systems and everything else. So that way they're just like listening to the events. Mute self, is that officially like making, Oh, so this is self is like this in many other languages. So you know how you can do like, okay, this dot, well, this is self dot and it's passed in as a variable. And I have a choice to make this mutable or immutable, meaning that this can now update its own state. So think of this as a function on a class. And it can mutate itself. Like it can mutate its own state. Whereas something else might not be able to mutate its own state. Okay, so we have that. No more errors. So this is really good. And now we can come back into edit input handler. Wait, no, this is the input handler. So we did that. This is okay. So we need to make sure we're handling mouse input. So I need to move up to mod, and we're gonna have pub function handle mouse input. So in this case, I need to be mutable self because the thing that I'm going to use is mutable. So mute self. And then we're also going to take in the X, which is an F32, and the Y, which is an F32. And I care about that mouse, the mouse button, which is a mouse button. And we're going to turn a result. And so I don't even care about the current screen, do I? I do care about the current screen. We're only caring about this in edit level. So I'm going to match on navigation, get current screen. Oh, which means we need that passed in too. Navigation, get current screen. For each of these to-dos, I'm going to turn them into no ops. Turn these into no ops. And then for edit level, I don't really care like what level we're editing here. What I want to do is self dot edit level input handler handle mouse input, hand it that mouse button X and Y, and then we question mark you, and then we're good to go here. And then at the bottom, this is yelling at me because I'm not returning a result yet. So then down here, just do that. Okay. You're mildly intrigued by Rust as somebody who uses C++ at work 8 hours a day. So I've been told, so I have not used C or C++ like near, like even close to the amount you have. From what I've been told by other people who program C++ is like Rust is familiar until suddenly it's not. When you start like using it. So like the surface, you're like, oh, okay, this is really interesting. I see like why you're doing that. And then you start programming a little bit more, and then the borrow checker like smacks you and says, no, you're not doing it the way we want you to do it. And Rust is a very opinionated language in a sea of unopinionated languages. And it can be a pretty big jarring difference. Okay, so here we're gonna have handle mouse input. That's in our input handler. So we're gonna head back into the main library. So we're going to do self. So self is off of the main state. Self dot input handler dot handle mouse input, pass in XY and mouse button. Going to rename you to mouse button. And now you need navigation, and this is, I think, just a reference. So a reference to self.navigation. Sure. Now here, this this is a method that's defined. It's basically an interface method, so I can't change the signature of it. So I have to unwrap here. So at this point of time, if there was an error in one of those results, crash at this point, just crash hard out. And I'm fine with that. Save. Oh, you need to be mutable reference. Okay, fine. Mutable reference. So you're yelling at me. No need for this. That. Okay, no errors. So everything should still be working just fine. Oh, John Genset, Rust at Spita. Oh, and John Genset, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing his name right. John who? He just released a new book, which, did I create a link for that? I think I did. Commands? No, I did not. I did not. Okay, that's not a problem. But yeah, John Who just released a new book. You bought it? Awesome. I have not bought it yet. I have so many other books to read through, but it's on my reading list now. Play, instruction, edit mode, and then click around, and no errors, no problems. And we can't see what's happening, but behind the scenes, we're having some updates. So at this point, we probably want a system that's going to listen to that click event. What am I rendering with? Yes, it is OpenGL, and then I'm using GGEZ as the game engine, which does all the OpenGL stuff behind the scenes. So we need a system now to mutate. It's like when we click, it will mutate the level. So I'm going to create a new system here. What is this? This is going to be... Yes, GGEZ is a native Rust engine. It is super nice. It has GGEZ takes a lot of inspiration from Love2D, the Lua game engine, and then Love2D itself took a lot of inspiration from processing, which is the language that Coding Train, Dan Schiffman uses all the time. Okay, so what am I doing? What am I doing? Where am I going? We're doing handling. So this is going to be updating. It's like editing level. System. These mods are basically the imports. So I'm importing these modules from inside. And so I'm using like a folder structure here. And so like mod.rs is like, if you're used to like JavaScript, it would be like index.js inside of a folder. That's like the default name. And then everything else is like inside of there, and then sort of like spider webs throughout. Also, since I know some of you are new here, for Rust does not have classes. There's no class keyword, but there is a struct keyword, but structs are not exactly the same as classes. There's no inheritance, so it's not object-oriented sort of structures. I think it's closer to like a C# struct, and I think that C++ also have a struct, but I don't remember. And because I never really programmed in C++, I can't say for certain. Okay, so what are we going to store in here? We need to find out like what the level is, all the editor and everything else. So we need to store it's going to actually be similar to the display for this. We're going to have the event receiver. So receiver, we're using Crossbeam for this. And then we have to have like the level name. We're gonna make this an option. That's gonna store a string inside. Options are Rust's response to null. There is no null in Rust, but it has this option which can be a none, which like at the surface might feel like it's like, well, what's the difference if none versus null? It's just a name, right? But because it's done in this way, the compiler has the ability to yell at you if you don't handle it properly. So there's no accidentally non-nulling Rust. Like you can't accidentally forget a null check in Rust. I think this is all the things we care about here. So we're gonna impl is how I can like add methods to this struct, and I'm gonna create a constructor. So like constructor methods don't come for free. I can't just like sort of use it and call it. I have to create my own. So, new, and previously I was putting like that mute self in here. I'm not gonna put the self in. Meaning that this becomes the equivalent of a static method on this struct. So we're going to take in the event manager, which is a mutable reference to the event manager. That's all I care about. I don't need to return anything because event manager, what I'm going to do doesn't return anything. Oh no, I am going to return something. I return self. Self with a capital S refers to this type. Okay, so let event receiver equals. Okay, so it's gonna be our event manager. We are gonna subscribe to a vector. I'm doing a vector so I can subscribe to multiple events, so I only get the events that I care about. So in this case, it's gonna be event. It sometimes tells me what I can do off these, but sometimes it does not. I think it was like mouse clicked. Is that right? No, it's clearly not right. Oh, it is right. Okay, mouse clicked. I don't really care what this is. Oh, I have to give it a new point. Point new zeros. And then we toString this. The toString is going to happen on this part and not on this part. Okay, so that's going to be that level name. You're going to be a none. Then we're going to turn a self with the event receiver and the level name. So got to bring you in. At this point, I can start using this. So we're going to store the, what did I call it? Editing level system. And we're going to pass in this event manager and store it away in here. Oh, similar paradigm shift to Go for the mod system. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. If I ever do need to do Go, then it should hopefully be a similar, like a simple transition. Okay, so we've stored that away, but we don't have anything to do here. Like these aren't being used because we just have our constructor. So now we're gonna need an update to get this and then to run it also. So let's just do a run. So pub function run. This one we're gonna do a mute self. And then I don't think we need to have anything passed in for us. We are gonna return an error result. So the first thing we need to do is catch to see if our level name is being changed, and we're going to use our event receiver like this. So I'm going to use a private function here to do that. So this is going to be update level name. Okay, so what's going to happen here? We're going to have to listen to that event. What characters actually make up the arrow? Oh yeah, so it's just it's that and then that. So it's a thin arrow, and then my my font is turning it into using a font ligature for it. So what's going to happen is we are going to receive from this channel we only know it's going to be that kind of event. Okay, so it's going to be a if let, I believe, because there's only one event that we're listening to right now, so this is going to be fine. If let, and then this is going to be a pattern of what I'm going to be listening to. So if I do just like something, I don't know what that is, equals, it's gonna be self.event receiver. We're gonna try to rec v what this is. So now this gives me, okay, so we know right away it's gonna be an okay. And then we're gonna get an event out of here. So ligatures and chats. Oh, really? That's cool. Wait, no, I think Twitch added those in a while ago. Twitch is for dev streamers instead of game streamers. Twitch may be like secretly trying to convince people to go over. So who knows? AAA programming game? The next Call of Duty, is it gonna actually be just like programming what your character is gonna do? Maybe, possibly. Who would watch that? I would watch the heck out of that. Okay, so we have this event. Inside of event, it's gonna be this mouse clicked. Inside of that, it's gonna be the position of the mouse clicked. So I grab this out of here. Don't understand how programming YouTubers are so large versus programming streamers. Well, I mean, there's time also. Like people, like before streaming, there was like what, 10 years of programming YouTubers to like gain traction from that. When you're in high school computer science class, you did this BattleBot game where we all programmed virtual 2D bots to fight each other. It was a lot of fun. There are a bunch of those out there. And I actually, like a few years ago, I on stream tried to make one of those, and I didn't get too far into it. It's still a game that like I would love to make, but battle royales are no longer in. So I may have to find like something else that like is interesting and relatively popular to try. Okay, so now I have the position of this point. So what I can do is I can just debug the position. So what's good? Okay, so this happens in run. You can do a self dot update level name like that. And then in that mod, and update, do self dot edit level system dot run. That. So if I run you, now if I click, nothing. Click, still nothing. We start playing. Oh no, that was B. We start playing. Click, still nothing. I hit E. Now we're in edit mode, and now I get them. So the event system is working properly, and that system is catching it and working with it. So now what I want to do is see if I clicked in any one of these cells, and to figure out which cell that I clicked on. And if I clicked on a cell, like return that. So we have this position here. We're gonna want another function to sort of like convert a position to a grid location. Now in this case, we can just do immutable self. I don't need to like mutate self at all. We're gonna take in the position, which is gonna be, I can take ownership of this. That's gonna be fine, because this can go away, get dropped out of memory as soon as I'm done with here. And we're gonna return a grid coordinate. Okay, grid coordinate location. Coordinate. Now a grid coordinate, if we go take a look at it, is just a simple struct that has an X and a Y, but they're U32s that it stores. And then we need level. We need the level so we can figure out what the unit width and height is. So that's going to be a thing. So we need also we need the level. Wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? This is totally wrong. Update level name. This isn't updating level name. What am I thinking of? Okay, hold on. Let's do this again. If let is gonna be okay. Events, navigating to, navigation screens, edit level with the level name. I got way ahead of myself. I should read the function name that I created because that's what I want to do. Okay, so when I'm navigating to this, if let we get this edit level equals self dot event receiver dot try rec v. That didn't is not auto filling in for me, so that's a problem. That's because we need to import you. There you go. Now level name is a string, and so now I know that I'm gonna say self dot level name equals some level name. This is all I wanted to do here is update the level name. So every single frame, it's gonna update this level name. If we navigate over to, if it receives this this event. What this also means though is that if we navigate away from it, So navigating here. So let's actually take this out. This is gonna be a navigation screen. So we grab you out equals this. I want to then match on navigation screen. Okay, so if you are edit level, you get the level name out of here, and you're gonna become, let's see, self level name equals some level name. Okay. All of these other ones, if we're navigating away from, if we're navigating anywhere else, I want to make sure that we're going to none. So navigate is basically catch all. And then you are self dot level name equals none. Yeah. So if you're edit level, become this. If you're that, become that. Okay, so now at that point, if we have a level name, so now we can check to see if we have a level name. Let's get that out, and we don't. Okay, I'm gonna do let level name equals. So now we've seen if let to grab like a pattern out of something, like some kind of enum or whatever, usually an enum. I can now do the same thing, but return something from it, and now I turn an if let into an expression as opposed to just a normal if. It's kind of one of my favorite tricks. So let level name equals if let sum. This is gonna be name equals self dot level name. Okay, so if level name is a sum, give me the level name here, and I'm going to return level name. Remember that no semicolon at the end of a block auto returns. So this just returns out of here. Else, if it's a none and there is none, then I want to return early. And we're done. And I'm not returning out of here. That way, guaranteed, this thing has to be the string and it can never be none. Now that I have this level name, we can grab the level out. So let level equals, so I need a level manager here, which is going to be, I just need a reference to level manager. I don't need to mutate it. So level manager dot get level, and we're going to pass it in. Now, I don't need, I could just get a reference to this. So I don't take ownership of it. So it's a reference to that, and there we go. So your level name. And this returns to me an option. I could do an entire another if let sum here, but with these names being passed around, I kind of just want to crash if it's the wrong name. So I'm just going to unwrap. Okay, so now I have this here. We have our level now. If I want to know where I clicked, so we can still get we can get that position. That's gonna be fine, no problem. I want to know where I clicked in here. I want to now convert the position to a grid coordinate. Noontime is still on. It's 10:04 for me. Also, hello stacking. I know you're 2 hours. You're 2 hours from me. Yeah, I'm last day of vacation, so last weekday long stream in a while probably. Let's see. I want to convert the position. Okay, so now at this point of time, we need to grab out the position. So do another private function to, this is gonna get us the, get what's clicked on. Or is supposed to be a none, right? Let's get the position that we're clicked on. So get clicked position. I think, okay, so if you're reading from an event, it needs to be mutable because it's gonna be mutating that channel. Return a result with a point inside this time. Well, am I? Let's think about this. I'm going to return a result, but inside of the result, I have the option, maybe nothing got clicked at all. So in this case, I should return an option that has a point inside. So basically, if nothing happens, we're returning an okay, none. But we want to check to see if something does happen. So we're going to do an if let okay events mouse clicked position equals self dot receiver rec v. So if I get that, I want to return the position. Else, I want to return this okay. No. You have to be an okay. So actually, in this case, I don't need this result, do I? Just do the option. It's gonna be sum with the position. Otherwise, it's just gonna be none. Then in run, so we get the level, and now we can say, okay, let me get the clicked position. Now it is an option. So I kind of want this to be another guard up here. We're going to do the same thing we did before. Let sum position equals this. We're going to turn the position. Else, we are going to turn okay. So if we didn't click on anything, just get out. Also, I don't want that. I don't need the mouse position. Already been given to me. We're going to use that in a bit. Okay, so now I have the clicked position. We have our level. Now, finally, given our clicked position, I want to convert that clicked position to a level. So we have the level, which is going to be a reference to a level. Okay, so how do I want to do this? So we are basing everything off of the top left to make the math easier, which is 0, 0. So if I take our position, we scale it up. So we need to figure out what our box size is. And if we remember, we did a function to sort of like do that in draw editing level here. To calculate the cell size. I'm gonna copy this for right now. It's like my duplicate senses are tingling. But we need the context. So need the context. Import you. So the first thing we're gonna do is let cell size equals self dot calculate cell size, pass it in a reference to the level and this context. And that gives us, now these are gonna be squares, so I only need one. Then from this, we can figure out like which grid it's gonna be based upon that, right? So if I click like 300 over to the right, that should be like 300 divided by the cell size, I think. So if our cell size is 70 and I clicked on 300 divided by 70, that would be cell 4. So a floor of this, I think. I think that's what it is. So let x equals, so I have my position, it's gonna be the position dot x divided by cell size as F32 that y is equal to position dot y divided by cell size as F32. Then we're going to return, so we're going to create a grid coordinate with x as U32, y. Oh, you know what we can do? Take this entire thing as U32. I think this will automatically floor it. But if I need to control that a little bit more, I can. And here we go, X and Y. And that's what we're gonna return here. Graphics, we need to pull you in. Not that, pull you in. Okay. Okay, so now we got our position, we have our level. We need a context here. We can now let the grid coordinate equals self dot convert position grid coordinates. We have the clicked position level as a reference to the level. And context is that, and that gives us a grid coordinate. Okay, we need level manager and context. So I don't have the level manager in here, do I? We need the level manager. and the context, which we do have. Which means, let's see, where else are you upset about? Wait, it only takes one. No, you definitely take two. You would take two if I saved. Okay, so then in update here, you take in a reference to self.levelMap. So prop Jillian on through. Okay, now we have a grid coordinate, so we can debug what this grid coordinate is. And like do a little bit of sanity check to make sure it makes sense. Errors. Okay, so cannot borrow self as mutable because it's also borrowed as immutable. So what's happening here? Level name is this string, which means it's borrowed. Okay, so we're borrowing this as immutable. What I can do is I'm going to clone this level name out of here. And that gets me past that. So this is a borrow checker problem where it's saying, hey, you have access to a piece of like the location of self and memory immutably, but now you want to have access to it mutably. That's a big no-no. You can't do that. So I just clone this in piece of memory so I don't have to like still have a reference to it. And then it shuts that down automatically for this one. So the general rule of thumb in Rust is you can have any number of immutable references to something in memory or one mutable reference at a time. And that's it. No other, nothing else works. We'll yell at you forever. Get level. Level name. So this needs to be a reference. Let's see, cannot move out of level name.0. So maybe we could do that. There we go. Now we just have unnecessary parentheses. Why do I have those parentheses? I don't know. Okay, let's sanity check this. See how it is. Edit mode and no clickies. It's not working. Okay, so what's going on? Let's see. I wonder if it's not getting here because it should try to print something out here. So if it's not printing something out here, I wonder if it's like getting early returned. So get click position. Like that should work. But let's not assume anything. Let's just go through one at a time. So if we know, let's see. That has to return a grid coordinate. So if we're not getting this debug, let's go up and try in here. Are we getting, do we get a debug here? No. Okay. Do I get it here? look, okay, here's our hello. It's already happening. So I am. So this is early returning okay. So what that means to me is level name is not being set by update level name. So update level name, this, let's do a debug on a reference to navigation screen. I bet I've done, like, I screwed this up somehow. Oh, look at that. We got nothing. I subscribed to, so this is the problem with using events like this. I am listening for, I am telling it like, hey, listen for the event navigating to. However, I've only told the event manager that I care about mouse clicked events. So therefore, it's not going to give me any of those. Event navigating to navigation screens. Why aren't you helping me? Because I don't have a comma. Events, navigating to, navigation screen. Come on, what do you care about? Unknown. It doesn't matter. And then we're going to take this and toString it. And now I should also be receiving these events too. So it's both a good and a bad thing about using events is it decouples, but then decoupling actually adds like a whole different class of bugs in, but generally decoupled bugs are much easier to deal with. Here we are, we're in introduction. Still don't get those. But now I can see, okay, so we're in introduction. So that's good. So edit level, introduction happened. If it's edit level, we get that in, we store that away. We get to here, then we get you out. So now does this debug happen? It does. Okay, so we get the level out. So we get to this position. So now do we get down here? So we did get the clicked position. So what I care about is let's just debug that out. We do not get that at all. So when I click, nothing happens. So click position, if let some position, we get clicked position. If let okay, mouse equal to this. Now, is there a possibility that there's multiple events in this queue, in this channel that I need to like just read until it's empty? Like while I can? Is there a way for me to see how many there are? Self dot event receiver dot. What can I do in here? I can get a length. So we can see how many events there are. Zero. There's no events. Okay. So that's not the problem. The problem is that we're not sending the event with mouse clicked. Which would be why it doesn't get returned. Okay. That's a good reason why. Who sends it? It's the input manager. Or input handler. For edit level input handler for mouse input. If this mouse button is left, create new from the X and Y event. We're going to send this event. Does this happen? Let's put a reference to the locate. Let's see. Sending mouse input event. Okay, so sending mouse input event, and we gave it this point. So we sent the event. Now I've subscribed to okay, hold on. I'm subscribed to navigating to navigation strings this. Once again, event, mouse clicked, and point new. And there's still no event in here. Oh, if I'm getting, I think what I have is I'm losing the event. Because I need to actually handle them all at the same time. I think that's what my problem is. So in update here, wrong one. In update here, we're updating level name. So I'm listening to this, but if it's, when I try RecV, if you're not the navigating, it's possible that this is something else. That it's like, it's the point. I kind of at this point want to, like, I think I need to store this away. So we're gonna have the clicked, like the mouse position. And I'm gonna need this to be an option with a point inside. Okay. Now in update level name, I think I need to change this from update level name to like handle events. Because this is gonna have to be slightly different once again. So what we're gonna have to handle all the different types of events that could possibly happen. So I'm gonna match on let's see, self dot event receiver dot try rec v. Okay, so with the first one, if it's an okay with an event navigating to navigation screens, edit level with a level name. If it's this, then self dot level name equals to a sum of level name. However, if it's an okay event mouse clicked with a I guess this is gonna be like the mouse location. Then I want to do self dot mouse position. Let's just make that position equals sum mouse position. Everything else we don't care about. So I think this is our problem, is I can't get click position can't be like a separate listening for event, because events are queued, meaning we have items coming down one at a time. So I don't have any like good I don't have any good like props that we can use. I don't think so. So as they come down, I basically grab a ticket, look at it, and say, oh, is this what I care about? It is what I care about. Okay, update this one. However, if it was like the mouse position, is this what I care about? Nope, throw it away. Meanwhile, somebody else like 3 feet away is saying like, I wanted that, I needed that. So here we're just saying, hey, just like listen for the events and handle them. Handle all of our events. So we handle the events, that updates our internal state with like whatever we need. So level name and mouse position should now be set for now, which means we can now grab our level name out. If our level name exists, we're good to go. If a clicked position, so instead of, this is now going to be if let sum position equals self dot mouse position. Return this position, otherwise return okay, exit out. Now we should have our clicked position out here. There it is. Figuring out what it is. And look at this. Grid coordinate is 28, 35, 76, 0, 0. Okay, it's working. Okay, so this is excellent. We've got it all working. We have our grid coordinate now. So then we need to update the level. So if we're updating the level, you absolutely must be mutable. Absolutely must be mutable, which means we now need to go up and make sure that this level editor is mutable. Or we use events. Kind of like using the events. Kind of like the idea of using events. So you're not mutable. We're not going to just mutate you and have a side effect. That's a bad idea. we're gonna have a new event where we're going to insert. We're gonna tell the event, we're gonna emit out an event saying we want to insert something at this grid coordinate. So right now we're only gonna do platforms. So we have a grid coordinate. So we need to go over to events. So we're gonna do insert. So insert into level. We care about the grid coordinates and the entity. So I know I have more errors. We'll deal with that in a little second. Okay, so then here, we're going to create our event. We may one day, we'll have to figure out some other way to deal with like changing what the events are, like what we're importing. But right now, let's do the just the platform. I think that's good enough for right this second, and then we'll figure out the other ones later. So that entity, it's going to equal to entity platform, and then we can do a self dot. So that means we have to send events too. We can't just have an event receiver. We also have to have an event sender. A sender that sends events. So we have our event manager coming in. That's fine. So that event sender equals event manager dot register to send. Okay, so now I can do event sender dot send, and the event is going to be a insert into level, the grid coordinates, and the entity. All right, so that's going to send that out. Now we have a couple errors here. Let's see, event. Yep, don't care about you. Let's see. Let's see, the grid coordinate. Oh, if we're going to be able to clone, so grid coordinates need to be able to be cloned. It's not a that's not a problem. You can be cloned. Entity needs to be able to be cloned. Okay, we're fine now. So now I need to make sure that the level can be the level editor can be edited. We need the name here too. We absolutely must have a string. We need to have a string in order to like know what the level it is that we're editing. So in here, in this case, we have the level.name out of here, but we have the level name here too. So do level name, pass you in. If this gets any more complicated, we may want to create a struct to sort of wrap around this. Okay, so that's happy. Now let's head over to the level manager. And we're going to want to listen for an event and then have an update, and then it will update for us. So we need a event receiver. Okay, receiver. So I'm going to create a new. Let's see. Which means we're going to have to take in the level manager. Okay, so we're going to do subscribe. Why can't you find? Did I not pull you in? Level manager? No, event manager. Okay, subscribe to event, insert into level, and so here we're gonna get you just put in a grid coordinate. X is like 0, 0. That none of that matters. So a grid coordinate, a entity unknown. Not entity. Oh no, entity is right. Come on. Can't you tell me? Do I not pull in entity? Oh, I don't think I do. It's like level entity. Oh, come on. Yeah, pub enum entity right here. Come on, you should. Oh, it's like end platform. It doesn't really matter. So there you go. Interesting. Okay. Let's see that, and then finally the string. So it could be empty toString, and then here we're gonna toString this entire thing. Then store this way. Now we need to handle these events as they come in. And then insert this level, like insert this platform, or like whatever entity it is, into the level as soon as it comes in. So we're gonna need an update. Okay, so we are. What's going to happen here? Oh, also you're upset now because when I create a new level manager, I need to pass in the event manager. All right, happy. Now, when we get here, we want to grab out that event. So the only one we're listening for right now is this insert into level. So that's gonna be fine. We're just gonna listen for that. So if let, okay, then the event, then the insert into level, and then we have the three things, right? The grid coordinate, we have the entity, and then we have the name. So your self dot event receiver, try rec v. So if we have this, we now have all of you. We can now do a self dot. Okay, we have to get the level first. We have to get the level mutably, don't we? Well, it's in our levels, so we can actually just get that out here. So that level equals self dot levels get mute by the key, which is a reference to the level name. That should be fine, so we should be able to unwrap this. I'm not like taking this from the internet, so it's just ours. And we can't like type it in, so it should be good. That gives us a mutable reference to the level. Now I should be able to do level dot let's see. In level. Okay, level map. Oh, I have this tag grid coordinate to point to. Interesting. That could be interesting. But all right, I don't necessarily need that. Let's see. So I just want to insert this in. So we're gonna do level.map.insert a grid coordinate. So that's our grid coordinate, and then the value is the entity. So right now I can only add. I can't take away. So that might be something we have to deal with later. But right now we're just adding. So we're gonna head back over to the main library. And in update, self dot, this is gonna be our level manager, update, unwrap you. I mean, there's no errors. Let's take care of these warnings. It's not using those or you. I mean, does it work? What's the chances this works? There's a lot of code without actually running. Look at that. So, create those. Now, if I go back to play mode, okay, that's maybe a different issue. Oh, when I'm this, okay. So my collision detection needs a little bit of work. If I'm not in a falling state, it doesn't work. That's funny. I should probably in like whatever state. Doesn't matter what state I'm in. I can just pass through things as long as I'm not falling. I fixed vibrating bunny. I did, yeah. However, I broke this, so I can now like can't win the game because it's up there. But you know what? We can make it so we can win. Oh wait, I forgot. I have the entire system where I can like go back and forth. Okay. Edit. Oh right. I don't have any way to permanently save this. So there is that. Like I need a way to like eventually save the level to disk. So that way it's like whatever changes I make is permanent. But I can basically now go like this. Create a stairway. We can even start up there. Do things like this. And maybe create some interesting things over there. So if I do this, we head back into play mode. Oh, I made it so I can't actually get up there, can I? I can barely get up to the next block. Okay, fine. Oh, this is fun. So that's another bug. If I jump, I can fall down. No sound? Did that sound not play? I don't think that sound played. I'm kind of disappointed. No sound. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. What was going on there? That like froze the screen and went down to like 19 frames per second. So hold on. Let's try this again. So if I just there you go. I'm gonna turn off. Okay, yesterday we like had this big thing where we were able to play sound, but like I'm gonna turn off the music and we're gonna see if I can turn up my audio. There we go. Now it works. Oh, interesting. I can't. I pressed E to edit after I won the game, and that was okay. Could not find end in the world. That's fascinating. I don't know what that would be. But if we take a look at this, okay, click an empty cell, adds a platform. So we definitely have this. We can now add a platform to the cell. Like we have other weird issues when like trying to edit after. I've never tried editing after finishing like a level. But I think this is a good stopping point for this YouTube video. Which okay, because we have this here. Is there anything else? There's no errors. So we can close all these windows. Let's go ahead and save this on up. And this is, we can add, we can now add platforms with the editor. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this YouTube video and I'll see you in the next one. And then for the rest of us here, it is 10:54. I still have like an hour before I need to go grab lunch. But I did run out of my water again and need to go use the restroom one more time. So I think I'm gonna do a really quick break once again. Also go up and stretch. So let's go ahead. I'll set up asteroids for you all to play. Good luck. We'll see if you're still alive by the time I get back. And then we'll start working on removing platforms when we click on them.
Have arrived.
Right. See you in a little bit.
Reinforcements have arrived. Firing randomly. What could go wrong? Firing randomly. What could go wrong? Target the nearest asteroid.
Level 5? Okay, well, that didn't work. Oh, Deviatrix, hello, and you deemed let's all play a game. Yeah, let's all play a game. Let's play the other game we got. Which is, let's see, and code builds, get the streamer game. Let's play the get the streamer game then. So cargo run, release. So this is the other interactive game that we have, and you play it by using hash commands. So it's gonna be hash fire, hash sword, hash snake, or hash random, and then a column to drop into. And I'm gonna try to avoid you. Oh yeah, I've got music. I just turned it off temporarily and I forgot to turn it back on. I think it's back on now. Yeah. And so this lasts for 2 minutes or until I lose all my lives. Oh, no. Oh, nope. Okay, well, this isn't going well for me. Oh my gosh. So fast. All right, we can try one more time. That was the snake. The snake can be OP, especially if you combine that with like the swords and the flames. All right, we'll do one more time. One more time. So now you know how to play. Let's try it again. All right, here we go. 2 minutes on the clock. Oh, a heart. Oh, and I missed it. Oh, I'm so sorry. And thank you for trying to give me a heart. I have no upper limit on hearts, so I can collect them a lot of. Also, the swords always bounce to the right. Okay, I'm doing much better this time. Oh, can I get the heart? Yes. Wait, no, it didn't. Oh, didn't take the heart. It went away, but it didn't go in. Okay, well, I found a bug. What? Who made this game? Okay, there we're in. I got the heart that time. Thank you very much for the heart, even though it might have been random. Okay, then I can just go ahead and get myself hit. Okay. There. Got that one. What? Didn't mean to jump. Oh, I thought I could avoid it in the corner. All right. You all win. But Chantilly Cake with the 48 points. What I think eventually I would like to do is like be able to determine when I get rated, like dynamically, and then have it auto launch one of those two games, either the Asteroids game or the Get the Streamer game, like just automatically. And so then we can just start playing it right away. I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, so back to this. What are we doing now? Let's see. Now what we're going to work on is making it so that when I click a filled cell in the editor, the platform disappears. Because we can start editing. It's like I can go to play, introduction. We can edit this. I can add. I can do something like this. And we can go around, we can do this, and there's our editor. But if I go back in the edit mode, I can't like take you away. I can just like keep on re-adding you, but it just replaces this. So what I need to know is like whether or not we need to remove a cell, like remove this this cell. Well, we have access to the level, which means we have access to the map. So when we click, we could find out if there is a grid coordinate there. That's probably what we can do. Find out if there's a grid coordinate there. But will we already get the grid coordinate? So what is this? This is going to be the editing level system. We get this grid coordinate here. Now this edit entity is for adding. What I can do though is find out if there's one that exists already. And if there is, then we're going to delete. So let's, I think what we can do, is there like an is exists? What can I do? Level.map. It's not is empty. I think like entry, I get a key and I get an entry back. No, that's not what I want. I guess just get. So if I can get, and then, oh, I'm gonna get an option. Oh, Purple G, what happened? Oh, you put a dot in between there. Oh, okay. You said what type is level.map? I am so sorry about that. I don't know how to stop, because like there's probably is a URL for those type of things, and I don't want to like actually have those go. What type is level.map? Oh, map is a hash map. So if you're, I think Purple G, you are familiar with Rust, right? If you're not familiar with Rust, hash map is like maybe an object in JavaScript, or a dictionary in Python, or I guess it would be all dictionary in C# too. Yeah. So anyways, it's one of those things. So I have a hash map there. You just conquered the borrow checker and you're moving on to bigger things. Awesome. That is the best feeling, when you're like no longer feeling have like an animosity, no, a negative relationship with the borrow checker, and you start like relying on it for like good things. Then, oh yeah, sky's the limit now. So if I get you, and this is going to be a grid coordinate, so it's going to be a reference to a grid coordinate. Okay, so if you're none, so if that is none, then what we're going to be doing is we're going to send an event to delete. So this will be not insert into the level. So this will be that else if it exists, entity equals this, and we're going to send this event up. Otherwise, we don't even have to tell what the platform is. We're gonna be we have to create a new event. So new event, this is gonna be removed from level. And this is going to be the grid coordinate, and I don't have to tell anything else, just the grid coordinate. I guess with all these things, to make it easier to add them without having to change you, command, all of you are just going to become underscores with no ops. There also is the if let none, but okay, if I were to do the if let none here, let me actually show you what would happen here. So I do if let none equals this, perfectly valid use case here, but Clippy says, hey, use is none. So Clippy is actually the one that's unhappy with that. So that's why I use is none here. I know, it's fascinating. It actually got me starting to use is none a lot more, and I like it now. I do like it. Okay, so if your is none, let our event. Actually, I guess I could just do this here. We can do a self dot event sender send event remove from level and the grid coordinate, and that's it. So this should be pretty simple to remove this from the level. Then I want to head back into the level manager mod. We have this update. Let's not forget, we have to update our subscribe. So here's you. I want to also subscribe to event remove from level. You know what I'm gonna do? Grid coordinate. You're gonna be able to derive a default. It's gonna make it easier. So I can now, like, this thing can become a default. Remove from level, and there's gonna be a grid coordinate default to string. I guess you could also flip the if statement around to do if sum, but it works well all the same. Yeah, that would also work too. Okay, so we're subscribing to both these events. So now in update, if let okay, so now I probably don't want this to be like if let okay anymore, just for this specific one. Now we're gonna want probably to match on these. So let's match. Let's match on self dot event receiver trirec v. We're gonna get okay. Events. Insert into level. Where we have the grid coordinate. We have this. And when that happens, we actually want to do this thing here. There you go. Otherwise, if it's an okay, an event, not change menu item, event, remove from level, we're gonna get a grid coordinate. So if I want to remove something from this level, it's gonna be first get the level. Oh, okay, we need the level name. So events, string for the level name. This is going to be the level name in here. It's fine. And then in here, grid, and then level name. Up here, we have our level name, which is going to be that string. You can just do a string new. That also works. Then, okay, so let level equals self dot levels dot get mute. This is going to be a reference to the level name. Unwrap. We have the level now, so we'll do level.map.remove. And the key is going to be referenced to the grid coordinate. Yeah, you return an option with the value in case, okay. And then if it's anything else, I want to do nothing at all. So now, let's see if this works. You can edit, you can add. Well, it doesn't do anything. Is it actually just not drawing? Oh, didn't want to do that. Okay, edit. So Let's go play. No, okay, so it actually didn't do anything. Not too terribly surprising. So what happened here? So where's these okay, sending mouse input. Header. I want to take away some of these debugs. That's both of them. Okay, so that's good to know there. So if there, wait a second. I did it literally the opposite of what I want to do. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Okay. If there is nothing at that grid coordinate, remove it. If there is nothing at that grid coordinate, I kind of want to insert it. Otherwise, remove it. Just a thought. Just a thought. Okay, so now I can add you. Oh, that's fun. What is... That feels to me like it's constantly being added and removed all together. What's happening there? Okay. Oh, it's still in this position. If I like hit it the exact right. Okay. So it's both there and not there. It's being constantly removed and added in. So when I rec v to add something, we find out, okay, there is nothing there. Schrodinger's block. Okay, yeah, there is nothing there. So I want to add you. So I send the event to insert into the level. Now, in the level manager, we receive the insert into level. We get the level and we insert you. Am I somehow double clicking it so that it's sending a remove like all together at the same time? Let me make sure this is not like happening at the same time. So like edit, removing, debug, inserting. Okay. Look at that. Removing and inserting, removing and inserting, removing and inserting. It is... So I'm receiving these events. Events are removed from the queue, like removed from the channel as soon as they're read. So is this like, am I somehow forever sending? I must be. So here in run, we get the grid. Oh, because we're sending, like we're storing the mouse position. So it's constantly saying, you have something there, get rid of it. You have something there, you get rid of it. So at the end of this stuff, I need to empty out and clear my internal state. Hirose raiding with a party of 28. Welcome, 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 Hirose and raiders. Let's play. Let's see, we just played the Get the Streamer game last. So I think that means it's time to play Asteroids. Asteroids it is. Hirose, how was your stream? What were you working on today?
Reinforcements have arrived. Reinforcements have arrived. Reinforcements have arrived.
KO2 fan, hello.
Firing randomly. What could go wrong?
Did Hirose have to run? That's often what happens.
Firing randomly. What could go wrong? Target the nearest asteroid. Reinforcements have arrived. Target the nearest asteroid.
Ooh, that was close. That was even closer. Close indeed, yes. Oh, okay. I can't turn fast enough to like catch these before it kills me. Oh man, only level 5, even with my help? Man. You guys are better than this than I am. Okay, we got to level 6 at least. All right. So we know what's happening now. We have internal state. So everybody who came in with the raid, welcome, welcome. So today we're working on a platformer with level editor. I have the platformer kind of working with some, minor bugs that cause weirdness and just make it not playable. But it's also kind of is playable. And then we have the level editor part. But right now, whenever I mark something to like add a platform to the level editor, it just starts going back and forth and like sending events to like remove it constantly. And that's because we're storing the mouse position in here constantly. So what I think we would need to do is remove the mouse position as soon as we're done with this. So at the end of here, do self.mouse position equals none. Just once we send this event out, then time for us to reset that. We're still in level name. That gets reset through another event. So I think this will do that. This will do it. So you can go to play mode. You can switch to edit mode. So here's everything. If I now, there he goes. I can now add these in. I can now remove floor pieces. And we can go up to the top like this. So if we switch to play this, here we go. I'm pretending that I can't stand on this. If I like jump through it, I die. But yeah. Now I find it's interesting. The audio doesn't play. Let's see, I can't do anything. It eventually started playing and then crashed. Could not find the end in the world. The end is still there, so something's going on. That was in one loader. Cannot find the end in the world. in the one loader, if let some, and oh, because I have to like, do I have to jump into it or run into it? That's weird. So I have weirdness with that too. Query end, yeah, just like there's a query for the end. We passed the world. I should be able to find it in the actual world. I wonder if like coming back from, no, because that should load up the world too. So as long as I didn't like accidentally delete the end, then we should be fine. Yeah, that's weird. Sort of some bugs to work out, but the basic part of it where we have this, we can remove a platform now from this is working. So I would consider that this issue is done. So I'm going to go ahead and close it. And no warnings, no errors, always the best. Okay, so what do we have now? We have the, let's see, we can remove platforms from the level using the level editor. Let's say I want to play the level and then, okay. So this part is correct. Now can play and complete the level is a question here. Like there's something weird going on. Let's make it so that we can actually play and complete the level. Level mod. Right now we add the end at like 25.3, and it's 50. So let's add in. We have to go to. Okay, we're starting at like 2. So let's add I don't know, like 4, and Y would be 9, 8. So it should be all the way down at the bottom here, right next to us. There's our end. This doesn't seem to cause an error. Now it displays the UN, so it adds that in. But it didn't play the sound. Oh, now I can't play at all. Because we're in that like dead state. Oh, that's fun. Why didn't the sound play? The sound seems to be like a little bit weird right now. Is it audio? Our audio manager. If we want to play. Let's try play later. Maybe we have to do play later for all of these. If I go too fast, it gets delayed. So I do want these to play. I want it to play now, but I think play later will like not be interrupted properly. Maybe that will be better. There we go. There's that beautiful audio that we chose yesterday. Ignore my buddy sliding backwards. That's a feature. Okay, so now if I try to go back into edit mode, okay, so if I go into edit mode, it cannot find end in the world when I try to hit E for edit. So that was at one loader. So in our loader manager, we run, so one loader, because that was our, let's see. Our navigation. We get a new navigate target, right? And then we clear the world, but debug, what is our target? Don't take ownership of it. Okay, so play. Here we're in level select. Okay, we're in play introduction. Okay, so nothing else has changed. And if I hit start, we go to level select. Okay, so this is all fine. We're in introduction. If I hit E. Oh, edit level. Wait, this works. Introduction. Is it just playing that sound over and over again? I think it is. I think it's just on loop now. I even have it set repeat to false. Like, come on. Repeat's even set to false. Okay. Then let's see. So we went successfully to edit level, but like maybe there was another problem here. Go play, introduction, let's win. Okay, that works this time. So yeah, I'm not. Why did it not work? It failed for a while. It failed in. Oh, audio processing panicked at next frame is empty. Oh, so maybe there's a problem with my audio. But now I'm having trouble recreating the bug, which is a little bit odd, not that great. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what to do. We have half an hour left until 12 o'clock. What can I do in half an hour? Let's see. If we open up our game, well, first of all, this audio is like, it gets annoying if it repeats. Like, I really don't want it to repeat. Camera shake. No, that's actually interesting. I don't know how to camera shake. I mean, I could probably like vibrate the entire thing, but I don't know how to like do that. That won't like, I don't know, make anybody sick. I probably could do camera shake, but let's not worry about that. Perlin noise. I mean, I know a good Perlin noise library, so I could do it, but I still don't know if I want to. Now we have this audio play later. I guess this is repeating regardless. What are my other choices? We have play detach, play later, play in. It's like play sometimes works. Let's try this again and see if it works now. Now I'm able to come back in here, at the level. Oh, right, but I can't move left and right anymore. Because we are now in a, we've won state. So when we won, I think our camera update. Oh, footstep sounds? Yeah, like all that would be really good to have. We have some like basic other bugs that sort of like exist in here. So here's a good bug. Not so good bug. So if I let's go backwards here. So if I take out that floor, back into play. If I just move to the left, I float. But if I jump into it, I die. Like, it goes forever. Also, there's no death. So there's that too. The camera also follows Bunny, which is not necessarily good. But once again, the point of this project is really for like the level editor part. So I'm not going to worry too much about the not being able to die. So I need to figure out some way that I can make it where when I move to the left and right, I suddenly am finding. But footstep sounds get annoying. Footstep sounds, I don't think would get annoying if I have the animation working. Right now, there's no animations. Because like a lot of games has foot sounds. But what we've learned is like GGEZ, we're sort of like running into the edge of what we can do with that. There we go. We can die there. So collide with platform. Let's see. If we're not falling, we return okay. So we only do collide with platform if we're falling. I think that we have to not do this. We have to just always collide with the platform, regardless. Is that as simple? Oh, all falling forever. I forgot that this is a vertical level. Let's try that. This is perfect for this. So we'll create some level entities here. Like that. I don't start falling again, but now I can't run into here anymore. So that solves one of our problems. Also, he's too big to fit in between the squares. There's a little bit of collision because he's bigger than like one square. So that's cool. All right, so that's one of the problems. Turn it into a feature. That could be an interesting puzzle mechanic. That like you can go forever as long as you don't jump, and then require you to jump. That could be interesting. I think, what was it yesterday we were talking about? Hey, every bug is actually just a lore plot. Like we're gonna put it into lore and plot. This is colliding. Oh, do we not have a system for us to start falling again? Like apply gravity. We're only applying gravity to us if we're falling. So we need to somehow update if we're falling or not. Would this be collide with platform? Self is colliding. Okay, if we're not colliding with anything, that means we're falling, doesn't it? I think that if we're not colliding with anything, we're falling. System manager, you like that? Ah, it's fun. Okay, so I can't move anywhere to the left. Oh, I can't move outside of this square. Oh. That's not. Huh. That's weird. Is this happening? Debug. Falling now? Perhaps too many falling nows. Okay. This runs a lot. Almost like I want to collide with nothing. Like if there's nothing below me. And if I'm, okay, so if I'm in standing and there's nothing below me, then start to turn into falling. Should this be a new system that we run? Maybe like update player state. Update player. I guess it would be update state. System. I don't think I need anything in here. So we're gonna have an impl. Say system function run. And bring in the world. Okay, so when we run, we need to find the player. So we need to get the player. We need to get everything with a state, really. So I guess we want to do a new query for like everything, a game entity with a state. In helpers, we have query platform, query player. Right now it's query player, so we'll just do that. So let player equals if let some player equals query player. Pass in the world. Otherwise, return early. Okay, so we get our player game entity out. I guess we also need all of the Bruce. Hello, good morning. Almost afternoon. For me, at least. Let's see. So we also need all the platforms. But platforms. Query platforms. Pass in the world. Okay. Turn platforms. You turn a result with game. Oh, this is different. This is query platforms right here. Platforms, pass in the world, like that. Okay, so now we have a vector of platforms. I guess it could be an empty. So if there are no platforms, we're good. But like, if there's a player, we should have platforms. That's actually not true. There is that one level that has absolutely nothing in it. I'm doing good so far. Getting a little bit tired. We're getting close to the end of the stream. I've been streaming for almost 5 hours now. It's like these super long streams are new for me. I'm not used to doing them this long. I would love to keep on doing like long streams though, if I could. I get so much more done when I do that too. Okay, so we have a player, we have our platforms. We need, so in this case, the state we need to update is if we're moving down, then we're going to update to falling. And the easiest way to determine is if there's a platform below us. Oh, don't worry. I usually end at 12 for these this week, and this is the last week. This is the last day of like the super long streams. My Sunday stream is not as long as this one, and then next week it'll be back to my normal like hour and a half streams in the mornings. So let's see. I need to check to see if there's a platform below me. And if there is, then we don't have to update the state. So would this actually be collision detection? Where like, if there's nothing below me, like collide with nothing? So collide with platform here. If colliding, now is colliding here just does this ABB bounding box. But if I'm not colliding with anything, then falling would be what I want to do, right? And I want to reset that. So I guess I don't understand how this else didn't work. So if colliding returns a Boolean. Okay. Unless I don't put myself far back enough. Like if I go minus, let's just try this again. So like it was above it, so I go -1. So yeah, let's see how this looks. I can move left and right like that. Okay. Then if this is an else, that means I'm not colliding with something. So if my state here is falling, so if I'm colliding, set my state to standing. Else, let's try just player.setState, entity state's falling. But now I'm like hovering by 1 pixel. Aha, okay, so that works. So I'm sort of like still colliding onto the edges of them, like go off of it, like I fall a little bit, and it's a weird. So I might be able to do something like 0.5 of a pixel. Then it actually look like I'm stepping into it. There we go. Okay. So if we start you over again, now if we do something like this, can't jump anymore. So there's that. But at least I can fall and win the game. Okay, so why can't I jump? Because if I'm falling, and if I go to 0.5, I'm above it technically, that I'm no longer standing. That's my problem. So if I do this though, then there's probably some kind of like rounding errors with floats that I'm not fully above it, which is why I can't move farther than one block. So my player height divided by 2 is clearly like close, but not helpful. I wonder if I need to do like a give myself a little bit of tiny margin for like standing on a platform. I don't know, like I don't know what the right solution for this is here. Like I can now transition to falling. This works, but it works too well. I transition to falling even when I shouldn't, because it resets me to my position. He resets my X and my Ys, probably. I'm kind of surprised this doesn't yell at us about like replacing this with just returning this thing altogether. Because I could just do this and just return this. It's the same. But that's not gonna like change the output from this. Still can't move past here. Because now I'm in state falling and constantly colliding, I'm guessing. Or is it collide with platform? I think I'm constantly falling and then having to reset my state to entity standing. But now I'm above it. So I guess I am curious. How often does this happen? So debug, now standing. Okay, so now standing. I can't jump. Okay. It doesn't, okay, it never transitions to falling. We're just always in a standing. Our set state is actually updating our state in here for what the new state is. So that's not super helpful. Huh. I don't know what I would need to do to reset that. I need to I think I need to trace exactly what's happening when and maybe slow it down, like slow the game down by a lot, which we can do. And then sort of like see when we land and I try to move left or right, what's happening. Because when I move left, we're going to collide with platform. So I guess was player right? I think this is the one I would be doing, right? So debug, colliding left. This is debug, colliding right. Oh, I'm gonna remove that now standing. That's too much. Yeah, colliding left, colliding right. So we're colliding to left and right here. So colliding left and right. Do I want to fudge these numbers? Do I want to say something like +1 pixels? Purple G, haven't heading out. Awesome. Thank you much. I'm going to be heading out in a second too. If I do player top, no, player bottom. If I do this like plus half a pixel, does that solve everything? No, it does not. Do I have to go more than 1 pixel? It's like my bottom is more than 1 pixel down. Same problem. So that's the collision detection of that. So oh, it'd be plus. No, would it be plus? There, bottom. I want it to be farther down. You can do minus. See what happens. Oh, now I just fall through the floor. So that's lovely. Okay, so I think I want to be able to like shift myself up a little bit and like give myself a little bit more of a like a hovering effect. But I'm colliding when I don't want to. And that seems to be a problem. Now, the downward seems to be fine. I can move on my way down, right? I can, but as soon as I land, I'm stuck on whatever block I land on. So if our player left is less than platform right, or right is greater than platform left. This all seems to be fine. I might need to like fudge some of these left to right numbers maybe a little bit. Maybe we're like minus 1.0. Plus 1.0. It's weird though that like it's checking above me and it's not checking like below and down. So if we're colliding, am I setting like a Y by accident? So velocity we're freezing and position.x. Position.x and velocity.x. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, now it's trying to like set me back and won't let me go forward. So I think my colliding algorithm is just slightly overzealous. So this is checking. I wonder if I have to do it like the other, like a different direction first. If the Y, so I do have to do the first one Y. So if player bottom is greater than platform top and player top is less than platform bottom, and then player left is less than platform right, player right is greater than platform left. What does the order matter? No, okay, so I collided right, but I moved through it and hit the hit that. Interesting. And I can't jump anymore. That's the other thing that's interesting. Right, I can't jump because I'm in the wrong state. So I think I have to rethink my state system. And like how to implement that. But we're gonna have to figure that out next time. Because it is a little bit after 12. I am really hungry, so I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Interesting is programmer speak for what the yeah, it pretty much is. That's usually what it is. It's like fascinating. How could it do this thing that like I totally told it what to do, but don't know that I told it what to do? Now I have to figure out what I'm telling it what to do. So we are, let's see. Cannot move past a block. Lighting left and right. All right, well, there's a bunch of these that are now being pushed up. So I am going to go ahead and see, end whatever the YouTube video is here. So I'll see you next time. And for the rest of us, let's find somebody to raid. We raided Mr. Halsey yesterday. Clark IO is on. Maybe we can see what he's up to after this advertisement.
Options.color, which is essentially whatever got passed in the chat message. Then we know that that color is invalid. So now we can be like, okay, tell Twitch chat that color.
Maybe like a chat bot. Sounds interesting enough. Let's go ahead and raid him. So there we go. It's been a long time since we raided Clark IO. Everyone, thank you again so much for stopping by. If you came with a raid, thank you for staying. I do these streams every single weekday morning starting at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. As I mentioned earlier, this is the last of my super long streams. On Sunday, I'll have like a 3-hour long stream from like 9 till 12 Mountain Time. And then next week, Monday, I'll be out. I have a dentist appointment. And then Tuesday through Friday, I will be streaming at 7 a.m. Mountain Time to around 8:15, 8:30 Mountain Time. And that's my normal time. So with that, everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. And I will see you all next time. Bye.
You know, job listings can be really